Hello, hello. How are you? I hope you're doing good. I do. So, TGIF. Ooh, got my hair cut. I know, finally, it's Friday. And what does that mean? That means I have another addition to my Friday First Impressions. I know. I really look forward to this every week. I've really been having fun doing it, and I'm actually super excited for tonight's because I have some really fun stuff to go over. In addition to that, everything I'm kind of using that I picked out, that I've been, kind of, oh, my ear, playing with this week, or is new that I got and I've been using. I pretty much love everything. I've had a really good week with products, which is a good thing. The only bad thing is that some of the products I'm loving are super pricey. So that's sort of a bummer for me, because I obviously can't afford to repurchase them. But either way, like I said, TGIF, and go grab a snack, something to drink. You know me. Got me my coffee. Cheers. And, yeah, sit back, relax, and let's get into this video. Oh, but wait, before we do, I know I mentioned earlier this week that, as you can see, I did change up my background finally. I know, I had that up there for a while, and I did finally color my flippin' roots. Yes, they look a little better. I know. I was getting so bad there. My grays, oh my gosh, it was so bad. So yes, I finally did it, and yeah. So I know y'all be proud of me. Okay, so let's dive in. Okay, Friday First Impressions. Let's get started. So this doesn't take forever, because I did grab a few products, but I will try to go through them pretty quickly. I am going to start off with the Tatcha products I got in my Trendmood box. Now, this right here is a serum stick. So it's just a stick, you twist it up. Well, it is the most incredible moisturizer. I use it morning and night. I put it on around my eyes, top and below, and I put it around my lips, on the edges of my lips, because I do have wrinkling there. Yeah. So I'm in love with this. I feel like it moisturizes incredibly, and it still absorbs nicely before I put my makeup and stuff on. So it's not too greasy. It's not too yucky. It is perfect. And I do still use like an under eye cream with it. But it doesn't really affect it. It still works great. And I always put this on first, before my regular eye cream. And I'm going to review the eye cream that I'm testing out. It's the Glam Glow we got in our Ipsy, but I'll do that one next week. So anyway, I'm in love with this. Feels incredible. helps so much with moisturization. And I mean, I've seen a little bit of difference with my fine lines and wrinkles, definitely, but I've definitely seen the most difference from the Bye Bye lines from IT Cosmetics that I've been using, the serum. I went over that in last week's Friday First Impressions. But either way, with that said, this is a definite, well, you know, I'm going to give it a 4. And that's only because it's not treating my fine lines and wrinkles as much as I'd like it to. Of course, I'm always looking for that Wonder cream. Put a little 4 on there. Yeah, definitely looking for a Wonder cream. And the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye lines is getting pretty close to it. So next is the Tatcha Mist. It is their Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. Really, really loving this. Again, I've been using it at night, in the morning, and throughout the day. Not too much because I want to make it last, but it definitely moisturizes and freshens up my makeup because I do have oily skin. And if I feel like later on in the day I need a touch up with powder, I will go over my face with a little bit of powder and then use this, because I don't want to dry out my face too much, because then it'll make oils again and it'll end up too oily. So I'll retouch with powder and then re-moisturize so that I balance everything off. So yes, absolutely loving this. Love it, love it, love it. It's a 5 to me. It doesn't have a very, very strong smell, but it still is beautiful. I love everything about this. And I really feel like this week, between some of the products I've been using, like the combination right now with my cleanser, the spray, my line serum from IT Cosmetics, everything, it's just, my skin, it really looks better than it has in years. So it's really exciting. I feel like in the morning when I, you know, take off my night mask and everything, I just see this and I put on, you know, I do my morning routine. I just feel like there's just this natural glow that I haven't seen in forever. So I'm really loving these products I've been using. Between, like I said, the Tatcha and the Bye Bye lines, and they just seem to be working so well. My skin is absolutely loving them. Okay, moving on, because I do have a few items, so I want to go through these, as you know, rather quickly. The cleanser. This is the Rice Wash Cleanser. OMG. This stuff is incredible. I cannot say enough wonderful things about it. If I would repurchase this over and over again if it wasn't so pricey. I'm still considering it, in all honesty. This is like a 5+, without a doubt. I am in love. In love. My skin loves this stuff. It cleanses incredibly. It's it goes on like a cream, sort of. And hang on. It's like a cream. And you really don't need to use all that much. What I generally do is I use like a face spray, a micellar water, and I spray it all over my face to moisten my face and kind of get it wet, so that when I put the cleanser on, it's automatically got that wet moisture to evenly spread out the cleanser. Yeah, and then when I put the cleanser on initially, you can feel like, look, it goes on in this incredible creamy. Oh, it's incredible. You can initially feel the rice. It's finely milled, really, really fine rice, exfoliating very, very, very lightly, but then it dissolves. So you're not battling with trying to get this exfoliator off, which frustrates me beyond what I can express. That's the thing I dislike most about exfoliators, is trying to get the grit off my face. It lightly exfoliates, and the exfoliator dissolves beautifully as you're washing and, you know, rubbing it in and cleaning your face. When I rinse it off, OMG, not only does all my makeup come off, but it takes my eye makeup, my mascara, everything off with such ease. I have not ever had a cleanser work so good and also not leave my skin feeling stripped. That is the key thing here. Cheers. It cleans so well and gets everything off, and yet does not strip your skin of any nutrients or moisture or anything. Your skin feels like squeaky clean, but still dewy and moisturized and wonderful. Y'all, I'm in love with this stuff. OMG. Like I said, it's a 5+++. It's a flippin' 10. I am so in love with this cleanser. It's my favorite out of all of the Tatcha products that I got. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Next is the night mask I have been using. It is by Dr. Brandt, and it is a hydrobiotic recovery sleeping mask. Now, okay, the mask itself goes on like a water cream almost. So it's not like a typical thick sleeping mask. It feels almost like a water cream. So it feels really good going on. It's got a really beautiful light scent to it. I can't really pinpoint what it smells like though. But as you can see, it's like a water cream. It feels really good going on. You can feel it soaking in and moisturizing, and it does feel really, really good. Is it my favorite sleep mask? No. It doesn't really do much as far as helping with like my fine lines and wrinkles and stuff like that. Let's see what it says on the back. It's for all skin types. It's a recovery sleeping mask. Apply mask, just clean, dry skin before bedtime. Do not rinse. Okay. So it doesn't have any of the like promises or whatever on here. Ooh, there's my girl Jeannie messaging me. Okay, so this I'm giving it like I'll give it a 3.5. I like it. Again, it feels good. But I really don't like wake up in the morning feeling like it did anything wonderful to my skin. And that's what I like to see in my sleep masks. I like being able to take them off, and I like my skin to feel like nourished and moisturized and not feel, I mean, this doesn't really make my skin feel greasy or anything, but it just doesn't, it's just got no wow factor to it. I don't know. I'm just not really that impressed. Smells good, feels good, but it's no like wonder product for me. It's really no different to me than any other average sleep mask. So, a little disappointing for Dr. Brandt. Now, this I'm going to go over really quickly. This I got in Boxycharm. It's the QMS Active Glow Tinted Day Cream. Now, the price on this in the box was over $100 flippin'. Yeah. Now, okay. When I did my unboxing, couldn't get anything to pump out. Well, the reason why is because the little tube came off of this, which I'm not going to complain to Boxy because it's a squeeze tube and I've been able to just squeeze it out. Fine. But honestly, this stuff does not like my oily skin. Here's what it looks like. You know, for tinted moisturizer, the color was outstanding. Put it on. It just melds in beautifully. You know, like a nice moisturizer. Sadly, I've tried to use it a couple different ways. I've tried to use it on its own, which, again, it was okay, but my oily skin did not like it. It was so moisturizing, I guess, that I looked greasy. And I just could not get enough powder on my face throughout the day. It just kept greasing through. And it made my pores and my face just feel clogged. So, I tried it as like a light primer. You know, and I used a quarter of what I would have used as a foundation. And I spread it out all over my face under my foundation. And that was horrible. It created like a barrier. Like it wouldn't absorb. And just, you know, kind of going back to what I was saying about it clogging. It wouldn't absorb into my skin, and then it wouldn't let my foundation absorb. My foundation sat on top of my skin, where when I used my blending brush, my foundation brush, I kept seeing like white marks and circles, and then when I would try to dab my foundation, there was like dab marks and it was a mess. So then I went out and took out a foundation sponge. Tried to sponge it around my foundation around. Nothing would work. It was like I put a layer of grease on my face and wasn't allowing my foundation to get into my skin. So, this stuff, to me, I'm barely giving it a 2. I mean, honestly, this may work for someone with dry skin, but there again, if it's going to sit on top of your skin and going to be a pain to absorb, I don't even know how that will work for anybody. I don't know. This is not very good. I don't like it. Okay. Moving on. That was my one poo-poo item. Everything else was pretty good. Now, the last thing I'm going to do. and tell you guys about for my Friday first impressions is I'm super excited about. And it's my makeup item. So I got this week. And we're going to be doing a collab with this as soon as everybody else gets theirs. But, yes, I know. I'm going to cover this up. I'm not comfortable with the name. I feel like a goody two-shoes or something. I don't know. It just doesn't sit right with me. My, I call it Orgy. That's what I've settled to. O-R-G-G-Y. But in all honesty, me and Karen Ann were chit-chatting, and she was talking about in one of her videos renaming it, you know, and referring to it in that name on her channel. And I'm like, ooh, let me think of a good name to rename it. Well, the name I came up with was Flesh. I feel like that's kind of along the lines of, you know, what kind of stuff he who we shall not name. Because there's so much drama going on around him. But he does make really good palettes. That's why I couldn't resist this. Because y'all know me, I am a neutral addict. So either way, I thought of Flesh. With all the neutrals, Flesh. Anyway, so I mean, there it is. There it is. Okay, it's Orgy. I got this in the other day, and so here's my experience this week with it. It started off really, really bad. And then Jeannie came to my rescue over at Unfiltered 50s. And then I had a further chat with Karen Ann. Those two are like the most wonderful friends. I love them so much. I love all you guys. But I'm just so blessed to have such great people in my life. Yeah, Karen and I chit-chatted a little further. So, as y'all know, I am not a makeup artist. I really don't know much about makeup, and I've actually never even purchased a new release before. This was my first one. So, I don't even track new releases coming out. I am happy with whatever I get. You know, I mean, I am just thrilled with any makeup. I mean, I get crap in my boxes, and I'm like, woohoo! I know, I'm so stupid. Anyway, cheers. Okay, so I'll show you the items first. I guess I can probably take the plastic out now. Okay, so here is the matte full-size palette. These are all mattes. And, of course, as you know, like I said, love me my neutrals. Addicted to them in every possible way. And then here's the smaller palette. And these are all your shimmers. I did get the bundle package so that I had the mattes and the shimmers. And here's all the gorgeous shimmers. And you can see I've been playing with it. So, okay, I did my eye look today with it. Super happy with it. Now, okay, the first time I opened up the palette, it was nighttime. I took my makeup off, put primer on my eyelids, used my MAC paint pot, used my Ciate watermelon powder to set my primer. Then I went in, used, you know, one of the lighter shades of mattes. I think it was this one. Yeah, one of these. as a base on my eyelid. And then I started with the colors. Okay, let me just tell you. I was in tears. Absolute tears. And I can absolutely see why some people would give this a negative review. I totally understand it. I was crying because I spent so much money on a piece of crap. And I went to Jeannie and I'm like, you know, WTF? Did this mother effer change the formula? What is going on? Blah, blah, blah. It was patchy. It wasn't blending. I couldn't get any color out of like the first 3 rows. I couldn't pick up any color until I hit like over here. And then down here. And then of course this row. I had the absolute worst time with this palette. It was horrible. I wouldn't even have given it a 1. And I mean it when I say I was in tears. Okay. So, Jeannie says to me, honey, don't use the paint pot, MAC paint pot. Use a different primer. You know, you may have to try a couple of different primers that you have. I mean, right now, I think I was using the Zorva primer. And honestly, my Makeup Revolution primer. I use those afterwards. But yeah, she says don't use the MAC paint pot. And then try a different powder. Setting powder to set the primer. I'm like, come on, it's MAC. You can't go wrong with a MAC paint pot, right? Well, oh yes, you can. So, the next day, I was at it again. I changed up my primer, and then I used my Becca Cosmetics Hydra Mist, something, powder, setting powder on one eye. And then I used my Dull 10 powder on the other eye. Then I put a layer of like a light neutral color from the palette on my eye and started trying to work with the colors again. Okay, it was night and day. Night and day. So, long story short, do not write this palette off until you give it a chance. And if you're having any issues with patchiness or blending or pigmentation, anything, try to change your primer, try to change your powder, your setting powder and stuff like that before you return this or before you bash it. That is my very first suggestion. Now, what would I give it? Definitely 5 stars. Both of these palettes are full 5+ stars. The colors are definitely incredible. I mean, the pigments are there. I mean, it's just amazing. I could not be more in love. And then on top of it all, the shimmers are to die for. Like, amazing. Look at this. It's almost like a dual chrome. Isn't that so pretty? And then, oh, this is the one I have on today. Look at that. It's a little flaky. That's only because I used it wet. But let me get those flakes off. But yeah, look at those color. I mean, okay, Mama could not be happier. Now it is worth every single penny I spent on it. And I do not have buyer's remorse anymore, which honestly, at first, I totally flippin' did. Here's the, it's like an army green, I want to call it, from the shimmers. Look at that. And it looks more of a brown on the skin. But there's this, the palette itself has a lot of versatility. You can go with a very, very light, neutral look, you know, for an everyday, you know, food shopping, whatever, by staying up here, you know, in this area, or the more, you know, you go down to this upper section, or lower, whatever you want to call it, depending on which way I'm holding the palette, to go, you know, more dramatic. And this one right here is a full-on black. Yeah. Now, remember, his palettes always have kick up, and they have fallout. So I always do my foundation after I do my eye look, especially when I'm using one of these palettes. But if you don't want to completely do that, you can do like Karen Ann does, do your foundation and just hold your concealer off until after your eye look is done. So that's a, you know, little tidbit of information. But the other thing too, on one eye, I did the shimmer right here with a wet brush. So I did some setting spray on it and I put it on with a wet brush. This eye, I put it on with my finger. So, a way to get your, hang on one second, hang on. Okay, sorry about that. Yeah, this video is longer than I was hoping for it to be. But either way, I just wanted to include some of those tips and stuff like that for this palette. Like I said, your finger or a wet brush on the shimmers, that's what's going to get you the most payoff. And in addition to that, I also found that doing it that way instead of, like up until now, I'm just use my shimmers on a regular brush with most of my palettes. Obviously, through, you know, watching other videos and Karen and stuff like that, I've gotten more in the habit of, you know, using a wet brush, and I finally gave in and have tried to use my finger a couple of times. But with that, the shimmers do not settle into my wrinkles as much. Yes. So when you use a wet brush or your finger, I get the pigments are still on my fingers. The wet brush or your finger for your shimmers, they're not going to settle into your wrinkles as much. So that's another good tidbit. So either way, other than the name, of course, is a little disappointing for me. And the only reason why is just for me, I'm kind of prudish. That's just a little embarrassing for me. That's all. I know other people are comfortable with it, and it's not it's a word that anybody hasn't heard before. It's just something that's not in our everyday vocabulary. The only other thing that I was a little disappointed about was the packaging. They are regular cardboard. You know, it's just regular cardboard. It's no plastic floofy packaging like a lot of his palettes and presentation are. That was the only other thing I was a little disappointed about. But I still absolutely give it a 5+ for both of these palettes. So I was super excited, And I was hesitant because we're doing the collab coming up with a bunch of us on, you know, we're all going to do obviously neutral looks. So I don't know how different they're going to really be. But, you know, with a bunch of us doing the collab coming up and all playing with our palettes. Cheers. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this in a separate video or leave it alone until the collab. But I figured Friday First Impressions is the best way to let y'all know I treated myself for the first time. Because, again, like I said, I don't, I've never purchased a new release. And so, this is so exciting for me. But that's it. So, those were all of my products. Ugh, these colors are not easy to get off. Look at that. That is everything for this week. And the items I've been using and having fun with and really enjoying. I'm definitely loving the Tatcha products. And I'm super happy about these new palettes. And I am obsessed with them right now. I don't know how I'll be able to put them down anytime soon. But I'll try to switch my looks up a little bit. So that is it. Thank you guys. I know this was a longer video, but I did want to share my splurge with you. And I was super excited about it. So thank you as always for coming to hang out with me if you're here with the premiere and chit-chatting with me. I love doing that with you guys. I hope you have a wonderful Friday and a super awesome weekend. Thank you so much for everything and for being there. I love you and I love all the support you guys give me. And I would not be here or have my channel without you. So thank you so much. And as always, I love you. Mwah. I will talk to y'all soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.